Uh, Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is the blockchain and gaming panel, and I welcome 4 superstars in the gaming and blockchain field, actually Web3 gaming field. First of all, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Robby Schwertner. I'm from Vienna, Austria. I myself also I'm involved in the blockchain sphere since many years, actually since 2015, January, when I started exploring about blockchain technology. I was running the Smart Cities research program those days. Maybe you didn't know that. And in 2015 January, I remember it was a 9th January. I was running up the stairs to my office in the 2nd floor, not using the elevator, and was running up because I heard about a new proposal coming in. It was a new research proposal on blockchain technology in 2015. That was pretty early, and it was about energy plus gaming. So it has an energy saving aspect. These days quite common now and quite in the media. And we had to deal with new research proposals. How can gaming and energy and efficiency be linked? 2015, it was a sunny day, cold, and that's to start with. Like we have here, a cold day, not too sunny, but a wonderful Berlin. Robby, I will speak at TEDx talks, at World Blockchain Forum, and many other occasions. And I do consultancy for blockchain projects and large brands boarding blockchain, which is the other way around we usually see. Usually we try to work on blockchain projects. Now, let me introduce our panel here. It is about, first of all, Adrian. Adrian is from Wombat, and of course has a large history, a long history in gaming and experience in Web3. Next one is Carsten. Carsten, he's a crypto publisher. We will learn more about Carsten. Carsten, we will learn about that, what that will be. Yes. Surya is from Venly project, and he will explain how this project supports gaming industry. And last but not least, Frank. He is a developer for Aavegotchi project, and as he put it himself, he's representing the Gotchi gang here today. Yeah, he tweeted it. I read that. But let me start with you, Adrian, first to introduce yourself. You developed your first blockchain, the first game when you have been 7 years old.
Well, I started programming when I was 7, but all I wanted to do is make games back then, because that was early 90s. I had a Game Boy, we had a computer, there was a lot of gaming stuff going on. Our neighbors had an NES and these kinds of things, right? So all I wanted to do is make games. But I took a long detour until I actually got into the gaming space professionally. I went on to study computer science and mathematics. I went to work with Deutsche Börse, the German stock exchange operator. And then I bought Bitcoin for the first time in 2013, in February, at $90. And this drove me down that whole crypto thing first. And then only after a few years in crypto, I said, okay, I really want to deal with that full time. So that's how I founded a company that today is called Spielworks, that builds Wombat and the Wombat Dungeon Master. Yeah, Spielworks, it's, I read in T3N that is one of the most important, under the 10 most important tech startups you shall know in Germany. Is that true? That's what I heard as well from T3N, but we're obviously not the ones to decide that.
And what are you doing with Spielworks? What's your role and what's your activity?
So I'm the founder and CEO, so I obviously take care of all things business, but also I had all things product and work together with all of marketing. So basically all the operational stuff.
Thank you. Who wants next? I open. Who wants next? Yeah, Carsten, please.
Yeah, with
Carsten.
Hi there.
Carsten, a crypto gaming publisher, crypto game publisher. Can you explain what that is, Carsten?
Yes, yes.
And your history, of course.
As some of you may know, gamers are really fond of NFTs. They do love crypto, they love everything Web3, and they're just crowding outside there and wanting to get into this conference. Or maybe not. So actually not. I'm Carsten, and I'm founder and CEO of ELEET Games, and we actually believe that the blockchain has a lot to offer for gamers. And it's simply that they don't have understood it yet, haven't yet presented it in a way that they can see it. So God bless him, Steve Jobs has this famous quote where he says, customers can't necessarily understand what it will be like if we haven't shown it to them yet. And of course, that's not ignoring that what customers want, but it's really about presenting it fine, in a way that they like it. And in the terms of games, they shouldn't be horrible to play, and it shouldn't be a scam. We will elaborate more on that. And that's why we are starting to do something. All these three gentlemen here are in projects which I respect a lot and which are much more advanced on a Web3 thing. But ELEET Games has a chance to maybe do something again, as I was able to do 15 years ago. As a CEO of Gameforge, which is a publisher of digital games, Web2 in Germany, we have been able to grow together to 500 million players.
500 million players.
Yeah. So it was really huge.
Let's get
we were
those
very
to Web3.
lucky. Sorry?
Let's get all those to Web3.
True. And I mean, everybody here thinks about adoption in Web3, and we'll talk about it more and how it goes. So that's why I'm invited here, because ELEET Games at this moment started its first game last month, and it's being played by a few thousand people. But we have been giving away a few $1,000s worth of fungible token or coin in that case already. So we're trying to build something with meaningful games and with true business models and so on. In ELEET Games, trying to reproduce with the same amount of luck something we have been able to do, up to 700 employees in Germany over the last 15 years.
Surya, what's your role in? You're not the typical coder, but you come from the business side.
Yeah.
So it's not only coding folks who can board a gaming company, a crypto gaming company, but tell us about Venly.
Sure.
But you hold a degree of the business school in Berlin, ESMT Berlin. Yes,
Yeah,
ESMT.
that's right. So, hey everyone, first of all, thanks for having me here. I'm Surya. I'm leading the marketing and growth team at Venly. We are a blockchain tech provider offering wallet solutions, NFT tools, and marketplace technologies to other businesses. And gaming is one of our core go-to-market industries, meaning we work with gaming companies across the spectrum. Yeah, we work with gaming companies across the spectrum, be it Web2, Web3 game studios, mobile and indie game studios, and also with game tech enablers. So we provide APIs and SDKs for various gaming use cases. Primarily, we offer social login wallets for player onboarding, and we give APIs to build game asset marketplaces, and also simply adding NFT functionalities to the game. So these are some of our core focuses. And we are also building blockchain game SDKs for some of the top game engines and doing live ops integrations, etc. We have over 3 million wallet users for our Venly wallet.
3 million.
That's right.
users.
Yeah. And yeah, a Sandbox, Vulcan Forged, Aavegotchi are some of our notable clients.
Thank you, Surya. Frank.
Yeah, hello. My name is Frank. I'm since 1.5 years developer at Aavegotchi. Aavegotchi was founded 2 years ago at a hackathon, at the East Global Hackathon in Denver. And yeah, we don't have millions of users, but we have thousands of users, and they are very active, and they are really pushing us. Not us, but themselves too. So they build mini games on their own, where the Aavegotchis can play, for example, tower defense or Space Invaders in the Aavegotchi style. And that's something we love at the Web3 economy. It's an economy where the user is part of the development and gives us input how we should improve the game and go next. And yeah, it's an awesome experience. Yeah. Makes a lot of fun.
As far as we have, thank you, Frank. Aavegotchi is a universe for gaming. It's its own universe. You have a lot of fans, but it's still not so many users. So when I quote Forbes now, they say that 2.5 billion have been poured into the market from investors to crypto gaming. So there is no crypto winter in gaming, obviously. That's interesting, and they expect 10 billions to be invested in crypto gaming this year. We will see, but it's very likely. So what does it make different? What's the difference from the gaming sector to other sectors, like, I don't know, the financial sector? Why is gaming still popular, although we face a terrible crypto winter? And the other point is, crypto gaming is super early. We would agree on that. You would not, it's still super early. How can we make good games? And when myself, I play League of Legends and I play chess. Yeah, I love chess. But I never thought about NFTs. In chess, it would be nice. Nicholas Carsten, he has an NFT program now for the World Championship with NFTs. But I don't play to earn NFTs. But on the other hand side, it would be nice. Yeah? It would be interesting, and maybe I can use something earned in other games. But what makes a good game where we can board masses and are not super early? What makes a good game? I can better imagine how a game, a Web3 game, looks like in maybe 10 to 15 years. I can see that I'm in a virtual world, and my body, my suit is there, and my tools, yeah, and the hardware is there. But how is a game in 2 years? What will be cool in the not so far future? Whoever wants. Start. Carsten.
Yeah, it's a real game. I mean, we should stop thinking that people will come join us if the games are not making fun. And it doesn't need to have the highest resolution of things, but it needs to be fun to play in the essence. In the origin, there seemed to be a misunderstanding that it could be called GameFi, and people would just like to finalize whatever, in that case entertainment. But people don't want to finance entertainment. They just want to enjoy playing. I'm not saying it's very good if in the Philippines you can improve your daily job by making something in Axie Infinity, well granted. But the use case must be as it was in DeFi, that you have decentralized lending and all sorts of saving accounts and insuring things and stuff. Here it must be entertainment. And that's what has always been played in the history of digital games for 30 years.
Totally agree.
Adrian.
Yeah, you're totally right. I think it's, like when I think back 20 years, when I actually started studying, I was playing Diablo 2 and I was farming gold, right? Because that's what you do at some point. You're like max level. All you do is you want better gear, you want better stuff, you want more gold. But then you think like, yeah, okay, so how cool would it be actually if I could take the gold and I could take the stuff that I get that I played for just because I wanted to play, right? Diablo 2 was an awesome game. And now I can flip that and buy a better engine for my car in this racing game that I'm playing as well, right? So this is the core of kind of the blockchain stuff that you have within these games. It should still be fun, but it's so cool if you actually own it. If you can own it, if you can deal with that, if you can do with it whatever you want, just like in the physical world, right? If you want to play tennis, you buy a tennis racket, you own the tennis racket. You can do with it whatever you want, right? But you can't do that with virtual game items up until now, but you should be able to do that, right? So that's what NFTs bring to the table, and then obviously that will have a lot of economical consequences, like people on the Philippines or in Indonesia being able to make a living off of that. But truth be told, with World of Warcraft, there were people in China making their living by farming gold for others or leveling up characters and selling them on eBay, right? So it's the same thing, it's just we make it official, we don't have to financialize everything, it's still about fun, and that's why people are spending money in games in general, they're exchanging money for entertainment, and this is also why blockchain gaming is still thriving, because gaming is still thriving, right?
Who else? What's a good game?
Yeah, so that's an interesting question. And yeah, first of all, gamers spend their passion, time and money in playing a game. So the main focus should be on the fun part. We should make the game engaging, interesting and immersive as possible. And the next focus should be on the gameplay and the storyline. Then comes the game objectives and rules of the game and interactions between the game and the player. Then comes the technical and visual aspect, the aesthetics. Finally, it should have a good community aspect. There should be a level of virality attached to a game in order for it to be successful. And all of this is true for both Web 2 and Web 3 games. But where Web 3 differs is that the game economy should be really important for a Web 3 game. A strong and sustainable game economy should be the major priority for the developers to focus on. To be honest, this is something that 70% of the blockchain games of today lack, and an area that we need to focus more on. And yeah, I truly believe we are progressing in the right direction, and it'll be there. It'll take some time to mature.
Frank, you have experience in game developing.
Yeah, I started gaming when I was 7 or so, with chess, and later on I played a lot of multiplayer games, so such as Counter-Strike, World of Warcraft, all that games. But with blockchain games or with crypto games, I'm enabled to interoperate with other games and applications. That's a huge benefit. So if I think of the old times, for example, Counter-Strike skins, weapon skins, were sold on third-party markets, super complicated. It's not easy, and today I can just go to OpenSea and exchange everything as NFT. So that's a huge benefit. And yeah, in my opinion, it motivates the player a lot, and they organize for example, at Aavegotchi, they organize in guilds and clans and do that all on their own. So I don't have to push them. They're just organizing and try to extract as much value as possible, of course. So it's a play to earn, and they want to be the best player in that game. Yeah.
I hate the
Carsten.
term play to earn as well. I said before, I hate the game GameFi. If you want to use something with DeFi, why don't call it D-game? Decentralized gaming would have been a good term. GameFi sucks, I said before. Play to earn sucks, because they should not, the value must be in the entertainment, and you should not play to earn, because then we have minus 99% of usage, as we have seen in Axie Infinity. The use case is play. And then if you earn on top, that's fine. So maybe I'm just academic on terminology. I like play and earn so much better. And on usership as well, we shouldn't overstress, because if we plug away the tennis court, you can still use your racket and do whatever. Yeah. If we plug the server of our games with the NFTs on, you leave with a baseball card. You can still trade, you own it, it's on the blockchain. It's still better. It's so much better than trading your WoW characters on dodgy or gold farming third-party platforms, much better. But the fundamental extra effort, the extra utility, if the server is plugged, is gone. Yeah. And you will not have the source code of the game in most cases. So that's why I would rather use co-own. You co-own, but one should never over-promise to those guys because they are understanding what it is. And then it has a good chance for adoption.
But what's also cool about this, you own, even if the game servers are down or you get banned or whatever, you still own your achievements, right? So if you find this godlike axe of darkness, whatever, in your RPG, and this is something very impressive, even if you can't sell it when the game is dead because there's not going to be any market for it, right? But you can still show it off. You can still show that this is what you got back then, and that the record on the blockchain actually says, okay, it got minted to you, to your wallet, and you didn't buy it, you actually got it from the game, so you earned it in the game, right? And that's not possible with any kind of existing infrastructure in gaming today,
and
right?
It was owned by Adrian, and he leveled it up from something to something really, and it was him, the guy who started Spielworks, which is really leading the entire Web3 adoption in gaming. So that adds a value. Understood.
I would like to have an experiment now. Let's assume, in many countries, first of all, the precondition is play to earn is forbidden. In Korea, it's one of the largest gamers country. I just was in summer there, the blockchain week. There is a stadium full of people watching gamers. Still, play to earn is forbidden. That's very interesting. So it means somebody in front of the computer doing something digital is forbidden on the one hand side, and when I pass by Berlin offices and see people in front of the computer typing in, they get the money and it's not forbidden. So for me it's very interesting that on the one hand side, play to earn is forbidden. Maybe it will take some time. Your take on that is welcome. And on the other hand side, digital workers, workers in front of the computer, they can do it and they get paid, and it's of course it's a job. What's the opportunity maybe for job markets in gaming when you have maybe a game like, I don't know, League of Legends, let's take that. And then you have and then you see, okay, a gamer has special skills, his reaction is very good. And then you have a door and you enter there, a room where you have job offers. Maybe you meet some people who offer jobs, and then you say, okay, you're very skilled in this field, maybe we have a job for you. So wouldn't that make a game more transparent? And maybe we have other touch points with the real world, gaming linking to other, so the fun part is on one hand side, but also sometimes we can have a job which makes fun. Yeah? Why not having this fun to fun approach? How do you think, where can be gaming more transparent to other industries? Yes.
First of all, we start to talk more on the P2E games and being forbidden on certain jurisdictions. I believe the major problem for regulators and legislators is that they easily draw parallels for P2E games with gambling, and gambling is forbidden by law in many countries. So that is one of the reasons. And also, it can be problematic in certain jurisdictions because the in-game tokens can be considered as securities, and as a result, the game asset marketplaces can be considered as security exchanges, and there is the problem of P2E games breaking the law for gambling as well. So it will be unclear till we have clear regulations, and we need to deal with cases like this on a case-by-case basis. And to mention about how it can work with job market, I really think that we are going a step ahead there. First, we need to penetrate deeper within the gaming space. If we think of the total market cap for gaming, it's around $170 to $200 billion, depending upon which sources we look at. And blockchain gaming accounts only for $6 billion out of it, which is less than 5% of the total gaming market cap. So first we need to think about ways of acquiring market share within the gaming market, and then to the next use cases. So that's one layer on top of it. So yeah, I think we are still on the ground floor.
Thank you. Any other take on the what could be gaming? What opportunities could that have, for instance, for job market?
I mean, in traditional gaming, like I said earlier, gamers are exchanging money for entertainment, right? So they don't mind being a net negative on their gaming experience, right? It's not about making money. But then there are other people who might actually do the work, do the hard work for these people, and they might actually be like the hardcore gamers may actually be willing to spend money on getting there faster or cheaper, or like most likely faster and with less work, right? So they might actually hire somebody, and this is what's being made official in blockchain games, right? There will be people who will be able to make a living by playing games basically for others. And basically, it's the same thing, right? In the real world, you want to build a house, you need maybe out of wood, so you need wood, right? But you don't necessarily want to grow the wood yourself. You don't want to grow trees, wait 20 years, harvest the wood, cut whatever, right? And then build your house. You just want to build a house, so you hire somebody else who cuts the wood for you, right? It's the same thing, right? We're just migrating this into virtual economies, essentially.
It's the division of labor. So you mentioned the house, and you hire somebody to do something for you. What would be? We have the POAP token here. The POAP. Yeah, maybe you have received. All of you have this the email with, you can mint your proof of attendance token. What would be a token for a gaming which could be later put in a CV? Because the POAP, a proof of attendance of a scientific conference or a blockchain conference, could be interesting to an employer. What would be a gaming token called? Yeah, proof of game achievements, proof of certain achievements is that thinkable, or is it just too crazy?
Right now we are building at Aavegotchi, at our Gotchiverse, an arena where you can fight with your Gotchi against other Gotchis. And an example of a proof of, for example, if you win this tournament or something like that, you can give out NFTs for that.
Yeah, so proof of winning a certain tournament.
Proof of winning, yeah, for example.
Yeah, and it makes total sense. Even with us, people have already been applying with their NFT portfolios, right? So they always send kind of a link to their OpenSea or their whatever portfolio as well. And that makes a ton of sense, because then you can see what kind of things they're interested in, which games maybe they've played, how far they've gotten, right? And because that's traceable. So we could basically say, okay, we only hire people who have an Aavegotchi that's at least level whatever, right? And then people have to apply like that. That's awesome, right? It's very transparent. It's a very transparent way of proving that you really got something. Everybody can see that on the public ledger. It's a great way to show off certain types of qualification, certification, right? That's be that in game or outside of games.
Now I would like to maybe I want you to explain, maybe somebody can an example of how to board a Web3 game, because maybe. I have a question to the auditorium. Hi, folks out there. Who has ever played a Web3 game? Whoever, yeah? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12, 20. Okay, 20 out of, more than 20. So it's the minority. What would you recommend the others how to do it? You take the mobile phone, or you go to the computer, which website, what coin would you need? How would you do that? I will tell you my experience. I started with Hive, and then minted some Hive token to use some of the games there. That was my first start with the Hive token. Yes, maybe there is others. Who wants? Yeah.
How to start with Aavegotchi? Or?
The Aavegotchi, yeah, the Aavegotchi gang. What's with Gotchi?
Yeah, either you could buy an Aavegotchi and start in the Gotchiverse.
So the first step would be to go to Aavegotchi, for instance.
The first step, of course, is to go to aavegotchi.com.
Yep. And then?
And log in with your Web3 wallet, for example, MetaMask or Venly.
Yeah.
And then you can go to the bazaar, which is our secondary market, and you can buy Aavegotchi.
Yeah.
Or if you don't want to spend that much money, you can also rent Aavegotchi from...
How much would that be to rent?
For rent, $1 also.
$1?
Maybe it's 50 cents.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
It's affordable, huh?
It's affordable, yeah. Maybe you join a guild, a Gotchi gang in area and they own gotchis and you can just rent for free. So there are always possibilities there. Yeah. And then you join the Gotchiverse and start collecting Alchemica. And with those Alchemica, you can swap to Ghost, and with Ghost you can buy parcels, and with parcels you can install installations or tiles or NFTs. Recently we started fake gotchis, a friendly art karmic experiment where the community is able to create art, NFTs with images behind it, and the publisher gets ghost tokens if the NFT got sold, and so you can earn some tokens here and there and build up your stack.
Yeah, thank you, Frank. Any other ways to approach? Yeah, Venly, Surya.
I'd maybe explain how I would do it if I'm starting to play a blockchain game today. First, maybe I would go to DappRadar, CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko and just see the list of games there. In CoinMarketCap, you can see like 430 games being listed there, and if you see in DappRadar, it's around 2,000. Just find some games which matches your taste. Maybe start with top ones like Splinterland, Alien Worlds, or maybe Dungeon Master even, and start playing them rather than going for just one. So you have many options.
Carsten.
Yeah, Dungeon Master, of course, Wombat overall is a good choice. So, or you simply go to Steam, your little brothers who are maybe not fully understanding what we're all doing here with Web3, but however have an Epic store or much more a Steam account. At this moment, while we're sitting here, there are about 25 million people playing at the same time on Steam live.
25 million people on Steam.
And if we talk about, I repeat myself, adoption stories, how to bring those 3 billion gamers in
Carsten,
for free.
You recommend starting with Steam, for instance?
I have a game called Might and Moem on Steam. Admittedly, I sell it. It costs $3 or euros. Of course, if you're in Turkey, it costs the equivalent of 70 cents because they have much more inflation and so on and so on. And we have that in 8 to 10 different languages now, and you play it and it's fun and so on. But if you want to, you go to the other platform, I call it Play and Earn, and you connect your wallet, which you need for free, and you participate in free Web3 tournaments, and it's being paid out thousands of dollars for it. Yes, sponsored by our chain, which interestingly is Tezos, because they want to grow in the gaming space, and I like it if we are getting a good support even there. And then in December, it will be tens of thousands of dollars you can make by playing on Steam, even if Steam is not supporting free-to-play Web3, crypto, NFTs. It's in the same ranking like child pornography. I mean, you can maybe rape, and Web3 is the same. So it's really, you will be immediately banned. But I'm just offering possibilities on another platform to connect a free wallet, a Tezos wallet, which is easily accessible also via social, so you don't even need to have it non-custodial as you wish, and that's all optional. So ELEET Games is crypto optional. Ignore it if you prefer so, but actually my friend has made some dollars with that. Very easy. 2 minutes of gameplay, $5. You normally don't get that if you're a gamer on Steam.
Adrian.
I think you said something before the panel, actually, Carsten, where you said you have to pick the gamers up where they are now, right? Because if we really want to reach mass adoption, if we really want the average gamer to understand and to want to play Web3 games, we really have to pick them up where they are and kind of have them build up their portfolio, right? Because for us, one of the most difficult parts of actually getting a ton of gamers into Web3 games, not just into Web3 gaming in general, but into particular Web3 games, is they need to be able to sign transactions and to deal with the things inside of these games, because these games are all fairly prohibitive right now. You typically have to buy something up front, which the average gamer is not used to, right? Specifically not in free-to-play. where they don't want to spend money, they don't want to go through the hassle of downloading an external wallet and these kinds of things. So we, as Wombat, we try to make it very easy as being kind of, you download this one app and you can access all these games, right? And you build up your portfolio, which essentially will be your social footprint as well at some point if you want so. But essentially, we're also trying to pick up the gamers where they are, where they don't have to deal with all the crypto stuff. They can play traditional Web 2 games on our platform as well and get their first NFTs for free, right? So they just can experience what it's like to own an NFT, to trade it, to blend it, to stake it, to do these kinds of things. And then they can go from there, right? They can do whatever they want. If they don't like it, yeah, fine, good, right? They don't have to, they can still play the games. They can still enjoy those. They're still fun to play. These are big titles, right? And I think this is exactly how we will reach crypto mass adoption as well. Because all these people playing these games will essentially end up having crypto, Tezos tokens from playing your games, right? Or whatever else. And then they will be able to pay at Starbucks for their coffee and stuff, right? So how cool would it be that you can actually do this? You're standing in line in front of one of these food trucks out there. You don't have cash, but you have your wallet, your app, your Wombat app, your Venly, whatever, and you just flip an NFT quickly, and then you can pay for your pizza, right? How cool would that be?
It would be cool, definitely. I mean, I told you we are working with large brands, and they, of course, are eager to find. I mean, they are not game developers, so they have to invent games. I cite one example which we didn't work is Adidas, for instance, or the Coca-Cola Bite. You could earn a digital Coke, yeah, Coca-Cola Bite, and then with that you get the original Coke Bite, which is kind of cool but still a bit boring. The story is not there. It's not sustainable very much. So where could brands board? What could be, you mentioned already, buying a pizza, maybe buying at Starbucks the coffee. Where could the boarding happen of large brands? And especially in Web3, because this is the blockchain aspect here we should also focus on.
To me, the answer is gamification. That's a quick
gamification.
Yeah, it's never so huge, to be very honest, Crypto Robby. It's never so huge. We talked about serious gaming before. It's nice, and it is being used that people are asking candidates in the interview process for selection, recruiting for the company to play games. It exists, but it's not as big as the entertaining side. And the same here. Advertorial games, entertainment has always been there, will ever be there. They will do certain games just from themselves, including their own possibilities of using the coins that are resulting out of it, doing NFTs things for sure. They will go on metaverses and so on, but it will not break the dominance of gaming for the sake of entertainment, full stop. No finance, no recruiting, no serious bullshit, entertainment.
So Carsten, how is your take on financing, financializing the gaming sector? Do you like that or you don't like that so much?
No, it is ruining it completely, and it will not happen. Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, the one thing is in DeFi, I said it's banking, insurances, lending, everything, and here it's entertainment, and that's it. And South Korea will, of course, allow play and earn in the future if the scams are gone, if it's not Ponzi's or bigger fool theories, because if it's not played, it will always be a bigger fool theory.
Yeah. Brings me to the point when we see, we have also investors here, a lot of investors who are interested in where to invest, yeah. Carsten, yeah. You recently, your pre-seed phase with ELEET games, for instance, with ELEET, yeah. You pre-seed, but also seed phase and second round. Aavegotchi is still open to investors. I heard that you can even buy land there, for instance, to invest in that. That sense, Venly, I don't know where you recently, half a year ago, you managed to 25 million investment.
That's right. We have raised 25 million till date, like a couple of millions in seed and 23 in Series A.
Yeah. So when we talk about Axie Infinity, for instance, I take it as an example. They were very successful in building a whole world of games. Yeah, really a big bundle of games. So what comes next? Because of course, after NFT, after Axie Infinity, what's the next big thing in gaming? What's the next Axie Infinity, for instance? What's your guess?
Yeah, this is going to be a wild guess. Maybe AAA style games with great gameplay. For example, Big Time, Miranda, Star Atlas, many AAA style games are going to launch in the coming months. So I had the chance to play one of the games in Binance Smart Chain. It's called Harvest, and it's one of the closest things that I have seen that had great gameplay, something comparable with AAA games. So games like that will probably take more share of the pie.
Okay.
In my opinion, is AI also a very important upcoming topic. With Stable Diffusion, for example, you can generate entire virtual worlds, and I think that's also a very important next step to take.
Who wants? Carsten, yes?
It's impossible to predict. That's why VCs and investors typically give a shit about gaming. It's just seasonal. Then there was mobile games back then. Oh, everybody ran in. Then there was social games, and then there was mobile games, and then maybe a VR thing, games very small, never happened. Then there was blockchain games. It is just seasonal, because otherwise it's impossible to predict what will be the next big thing, and this is very bad for investors because they of course hate risk and uncertainty. But entertainment will be, that's very simple, and nobody knows. It will be small budgets, big budgets, and they will be played, and it doesn't need technology or so forth. NFTs will never go away. Play and earn will of course is here to stay. It will be becoming only bigger.
Thank you. Adrian.
Just quick note, because we're running out of time, but
yes.
To me it's really, blockchain gaming is really in the end about interoperability between games. This is what it allows, so we need to stop building siloed ecosystems. We need to build open ecosystems for games so that games are really interoperable, and this is going to be a killer application for Web3 in gaming.
So, thank you very much, Adrian, Carsten, Surya, Frank, for this discussion. And if people have questions, we are still around at the back. And thank you.